You're fired, and forget about any letter of recommendation." Samir Hassan's furious voice shook the marble walls of his Beverly Hills mansion. The 48-year-old Syrian-American magnate, owner of a global chain of luxury hotels, stood red-faced with rage. In his trembling hands was a financial report that threatened to destroy him. Across the office, Kia Williams did not flinch. The 38-year-old African-American cleaner tightened her grip on the rag in her hands. No fear, no surprise, just calm composure. The serenity in her eyes only enraged Samir further. "Someone is stealing from my company," he roared, slamming his fist against the mahogany desk. "Unauthorized transfers, phantom contracts, offshore accounts, and you," he pointed at her with a trembling hand, "you're the only one who has access to this office when I'm away." Kia had worked in that mansion for 5 years, always discreet, always efficient. She was the invisible hand that kept the house immaculate. To Samir, however, she had always been nothing more than furniture, replaceable, insignificant. "Mr. Hassan," she said softly, her voice even and unshaken, "I clean your house. I don't touch your computers or your documents." "Liar!" Samir exploded. "You think I'm a fool? My accountant traced missing funds, $2.3 million, gone in 6 months. And it started right after I gave you more access to this house." The accusation was absurd, but Samir was drowning. His empire was already under FBI investigation for money laundering. He needed a scapegoat, someone to blame, and Kia was convenient. "You have 24 hours to return my money," he snarled, stepping closer, his shadow towering over her. "Or I'll destroy you. Your life, your reputation, you'll never work again." Kia met his glare steadily. There was no tremor in her eyes. What he saw instead unsettled him, an unreadable depth, as though she knew something he did not. "Mr. Hassan," she said slowly, "are you sure you want to accuse me?" Her strange question knocked him off balance. "What's that supposed to mean?" "Nothing," she replied. "Just curious that you chose today of all days to point your finger at me." Before Samir could demand an explanation, she placed the rag neatly on the desk and walked toward the door. "Where do you think you're going?" he barked. "Home," she answered without looking back. "After all, I've just been fired." "You have 24 hours!" Samir shouted after her. 24 hours or you're finished!" Kia paused at the threshold. Turning slightly, she spoke the words that would haunt him. "Mr. Hassan, sometimes the people you underestimate are exactly the ones you should fear." The door closed. That night, Samir sat in his office with a glass of whiskey, replaying the encounter. The more he thought about her words, the more unsettled he became. She should have begged, cried, denied everything. But she hadn't. She had looked at him like a chess player who still held the winning piece. "Impossible," Samir muttered to himself. "She's just a cleaner." Yet doubt crept into his mind like a parasite. By dawn, unable to bear the questions gnawing at him, Samir made a decision. He would go to Kia's home himself. He had to see what she was hiding. The next morning, his Bentley left the polished avenues of Beverly Hills and entered a different world. Wide boulevards narrowed into cracked streets with rusting lampposts. The mansions gave way to modest homes with peeling fences and patchy gardens. Samir frowned as he stopped in front of a small, neatly kept house. No luxury cars, no signs of unexplained wealth, just the quiet dignity of someone who lived within their means. He knocked sharply. The door opened, and there stood Kia, wearing a simple dress. She didn't look surprised at all. "Mr. Hassan," she said calmly, "I was expecting you." Expecting him? Samir's stomach twisted. "What do you mean, expecting me?" "Come in,
Kea replied, holding the door wider. "There are some things you need to see." Against his better judgment, Samir entered. The living room was modest, but something on the walls made his blood run cold. Diplomas, framed certificates. He stepped closer, reading aloud. Master of Business Administration, Harvard Business School, Forensic Accounting Certification, FBI Academy? Kea appeared at his side, holding a thick folder. Her lips curved into a smile, not the submissive smile of an employee, but the confident smile of someone who had just revealed their winning hand. Yes, Mr. Hassan, MBA in Corporate Financial Crimes. For the last 5 years, while you thought I was just cleaning your home, I've been conducting an undercover operation with the FBI and IRS. Samir's glass heart shattered. Impossible, he whispered.
The operation is called Clean House, Kea continued, opening the folder. Inside were photographs, copies of contracts, offshore accounts, transcripts of phone calls, wire transfers, all meticulously documented. You weren't my employer, Mr. Hassan, Kea said. You were my target. Samir's knees weakened. You've been investigating me for 5 years? And yesterday, Kea said, pulling out a recorder, when you accused me of stealing $2.3 million, you handed me the last piece of evidence I needed. Coercion, threatening a federal agent, obstruction of justice. Samir's face turned ashen. Those millions weren't stolen, Kea explained coolly. They were frozen by the IRS as part of the investigation. She pulled out more photos. Here, fake vendor contracts. Here, illegal wire transfers. And here, she laid down the most damning evidence. Your hotels in Miami, rooms 412 to 418, always reserved, always off the system, women and children held against their will. Samir staggered. You can't know this. I do, Kea interrupted, because I cleaned those rooms myself. I documented everything, the victims, the conditions. 5 years of evidence, Mr. Hassan. Your arrogance made you careless. Just then her phone rang. She answered without leaving his gaze. Yes, this is Agent Williams. He's here with me. Understood. She hung up and checked her watch. Change of plans. The agents are arriving now. Samir rushed to the window. Black SUVs lined the street. Men and women in suits and bulletproof vests emerged, some carrying equipment. His breath caught. No, this can't be happening. The front door burst open. 3 agents entered. Their leader, a grizzled man in his 50s, nodded to Kea. Agent Williams, excellent work. One of the best documented operations I've seen. Samir's world collapsed as the man turned to him. Mr. Hassan, you are under arrest for money laundering, human trafficking, bribery, tax evasion, and obstruction of justice. You have the right to remain silent. Samir screamed. Wait, I can pay. We can make a deal. Your accounts were frozen hours ago, the agent replied coldly. Your empire is finished. Samir's son was arrested the same day, caught trying to flee the country. The Hassan empire crumbled overnight, its wealth seized, its victims freed. 6 months later, in Washington, D.C., Kea Williams stood tall in the FBI headquarters, receiving the Medal of Merit for distinguished service. Families of rescued victims applauded with tears in their eyes. A young woman, once captive in one of Samir's hotels, hugged her tightly. Agent Williams, you gave me back my life. I'll never forget you. Kea squeezed her hands. You were the reason I endured 5 years of invisibility. Every day I saw those locked rooms, I told myself, one more day, one step closer to your freedom. Samir Hassan, once a respected billionaire, now served a 45-year sentence in federal prison. His son, 25. The empire was gone. And Kea? She was promoted to lead a new division of the FBI, specializing in undercover operations against human trafficking. When asked on national television, what advice she had for women who felt invisible in their jobs. She smiled thoughtfully. Being invisible can be a superpower. People reveal who they truly are when they think no one is watching. Use that invisibility. Observe. Learn. Because one day, you might be the one holding them accountable. Her gaze hardened. And to men like Samir Hassan, never underestimate the people you consider beneath you. The cleaner you ignore might be a federal agent. The secretary you dismiss might be an auditor. The woman you underestimate might be the one who brings your empire crashing down. For the first time in years, Kaya Williams no longer needed to pretend she was invisible.